hard is it to learn violin? Keep watching to find out. If we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Megan. I'm a violinist and teacher currently based in New Jersey. I've been playing the violin for over 20 years. I am a Suzuki trained teacher, and I have both my bachelor's and master's degrees in music. I post tons of violin tips and tutorials, so be sure to subscribe and follow me on Instagram at Suzuki Violin Teacher. So, how hard is it to learn the violin? Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's pretty tough. I can't say for certain, but I have seen multiple articles and heard multiple people say that violin is the toughest instrument to learn. And here's why I think that is. First of all, the violin is not a very natural instrument. What I mean by that is you do not hold it in a natural way. I don't think that anybody goes around just with their hand in a bowl hold, right? And I don't think anybody just raises their arm for several hours a day. On top of that, the violin is pretty lopsided, right? Most of your weight is over to your left-hand side, which again, is just not very ergonomical. It's not very natural of position. On top of that, positioning is so important. If you don't have proper posture, you're not going to sound good, and that can be extremely frustrating. Using the bow specifically is a big challenge, and one that, other instruments don't have to deal with, of course, besides viola, cello, and bass. But wind instruments, all they have to do is press down keys, okay? We have to first make sure we have a good bow hold, make sure it's relaxed, make sure our bow is straight, it's at a good contact point, and that's all just to make like one good sound on an open string. Another thing that makes the violin difficult is that there's no markers. There's no frets like a guitar. In piano, you just have to press a key and you're playing the right note. For a woodwind, again, you just have to press a key and you're playing the right note. For violin, there's absolutely no guide for you to know where you put your fingers, which is really tough. On top of that, the margin for error is extremely small. If you move your finger even like half of a millimeter, you're out of tune, which again is really frustrating. I also like to say the violin is a jealous mistress. The violin requires a lot of attention. In order to improve, you have to be practicing consistently. And us as like busy adults, busy individuals, we don't always have the time. And unfortunately, if you're not putting in the work, you're not going to see the results. Now, I'm not saying all of this to scare you. I'm just stating the facts. Yes, violin is extremely tough to learn, but that does not make it impossible. I think there are two major factors that make learning the violin a little easier. One is having a good teacher. Because the positioning is so strange and you need to have it exactly right to be able to, play well, and because there's so many little details that go into playing the violin, you really need someone who can, first of all, explain those ideas clearly. Second of all, give you clear feedback on how you're doing. And three, help you discover a practice plan or practice techniques that are actually going to help you improve so you're not just spinning your wheels. There's a lot of conflicting information out there, and if you're just randomly searching for, the answer to your violin problem, oh my gosh, you're probably gonna find complete opposite answers of each other, right? One person's gonna tell you to do A, and the next person's gonna tell you to do the exact opposite. So that can be really confusing and frustrating. And the second major factor is just practicing consistently. I always say it's better to practice for 30 minutes every day than an hour every other day. When you're practicing, you're building up your muscle memory, and unfortunately, when your muscle memory is not getting used or practiced, it is slowly degrading. So, before starting the violin, I would seriously evaluate if you are going to be able to make time for daily practice. Now, the amount is of course going to depend on your skill level and your goals. If you're a complete beginner, you're not going to need 30 minutes a day. You're going to need maybe 10 or 15. But as you grow and as you learn more, you will need more time. If you are looking for someone to help you on your violin journey, I would absolutely love to. You can click the link in the description to fill out a form to apply to work with me, or email me directly. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. Subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you in the next one.